The classic case of ministerial misjudgment, a bad situation made palpably worse by an ill timed social media post from the minister. In Northern Ireland, the backdrop 3 nights of rising racial tension, disorder, and protest, the flashpoint of fire at the Lyons Leisure Centre, hastily converted into emergency accommodation for migrant families forced from their homes by mobs in Ballymena. Into this combustible atmosphere steps Gordon Lyons, the DUP Communities Minister, and he doesn't so much step quietly as clatter in with a match. And Lyons published a social media update noting that the leisure centre had been used to shelter families affected by the violence. The purpose, he insists, was clarification, yet it came hours before the centre was vandalised and set alight. And police officers were attacked, a refuge became a target, and critics say the post acted as a homing beacon for troublemakers. Michelle O'Neill, the First Minister, accused Lyons of inflaming the situation and called for his resignation. Justice Minister Naomi Long said by naming it, he elevated it. Matthew O'Toole of the SDLP has referred the matter to the Assembly's Standards Commissioner. Lyons' defence has been emphatic, indignant, and to some ears unconvincing. He argues that the information was already in the public domain and that he was helping the police dispel false rumours about permanent resettlement. He claims the protest had already been planned and his post was an attempt to calm tensions. But information may have been public, it was not prominent, and his reiteration from a ministerial platform gave it oxygen, gave it fire. As Justice Minister Long noted, ministers do not operate like private citizens. Their words come with amplification and consequence. And this isn't merely about a Facebook post, it's about leadership in moments of crisis. And a Minister for Communities, no less, ought to know that naming locations linked to vulnerable families in the context of racial unrest is incendiary. Whether intentional or not, it was reckless. Hilary Benn, the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, urged all politicians to act in a sensible way. Even some within the DUP seemed nervous, with Deputy Minister Emma Littlepengley calling for unity and careful messaging. The Communities Committee has passed a vote of no confidence in Lyons. Protestations from the DUP leader Gavin Robinson that Lyons is a victim of a political pile-on have done little to calm public anger. And this incident may yet become a litmus test for how seriously Northern Ireland's executive takes responsibility in ministerial conduct. The optics are damaging. A minister accused of putting migrant families at risk, a government that looks divided, and a growing perception that accountability is conditional on party lines. In moments of disorder, leadership is not about who gets notified first, but who gets to be right. And it's about who acts with wisdom and restraint. And in attempting to quash a rumour, Mr. Lyons ignited something far worse. The words were his, but the consequences were everyone's. And it said that leadership is tested not by calm, but by crisis, and in this case, the test came and went, and Gordon Lyons, by most reckonings, failed that test absolutely. As buildings smouldered and communities reeled, the minister in charge of social cohesion managed to sow division and mistrust. He managed to make a bad situation worse. And so the question lingers. Should he stay in post? He says absolutely. But for many across Northern Ireland, absolutely is starting to sound like a punchline to a tragedy. I think he should go.